Hello, Springford, and happy Wednesday. I hope this video finds you well and staying warm during some of this cold weather that we're having. We're pretty close to the end of the first semester, that end of that second marking period. January 23rd is the official end. And just want to make sure that, that we remind you to make sure that you're checking grades, make sure your children are making and looking out for outstanding work that needs to be taken care of. Really want to do our best to really beef up those grades and beef up the learning as much as we can as we move towards the second half of our school year. And again, positioning ourselves in a great way so that we can finish strong once we hit June and the weather is nicer. Speaking of weather, we've had a couple of days where it's been kind of interesting, and I want to spend a little bit of time just talking about what we did yesterday. So we took a FID day. That's a flexible instruction day. We are, according to PDE, allowed to take 5 total flexible instruction days, or FIDs, throughout the entire school year. Yesterday was our first. Last year, the 22-23 school year, we did not need to use any, even though we had that option. This year, for the 23-24 school year, we once again have 5, and we did use 1 of them yesterday. The idea behind a FID is this. We are required to have 180 school days, student days, and we're required to have 190 teacher days, professional days. So regardless of how many days off for breaks and whether school gets canceled or not, we still have to get that amount of time in. So if we build in this, what we would call the traditional snow day, we have to add days towards our calendar somehow. And in this case, based on the work that we've done, they would be added on to the end of the school year. Prior to, I would say, 2021, we would build a 183 student school year. And then if we didn't use any days, we just subtracted those days. So we didn't really know when the end of the school year was going to be. By adding in FIDs and removing those traditional snow makeup days, we're able to make our calendar be much more concise. And then we don't have to worry about making up those days. If we have to cancel school for weather, we can do the FID, which counts as a student day, and then we can still keep our calendar at 180 days, and we have that fixed end of the school year. The idea behind the FID was really finding a nice balance. We do want our students to have that opportunity to get outside and play, have the flexibility to enjoy the nice cold and snowy weather, but we also want to make sure that we're not making our school year longer than we need to, and gives our students the opportunity to not have to make up that day. So we built a combination of synchronous and asynchronous activities so that our students can be in touch with with their teachers. But then we also provided some flexibility with asynchronous work, that if a student wants to get outside for a few hours in the afternoon, they can certainly do that and then come back to whatever asynchronous assignments they might have to fulfill the requirements of the FID. We decided to do that back around 2020. We've enjoyed having that flexibility to do that. And we once again signed up for this year. So as we go on into our school years, the flexible instruction day, that FID, is something that we want to make sure that that we have conversations about, we debrief about, making them as effective as possible for our students and for our staff, but also using those days to be able to provide some instruction to keep that day moving towards their academic path and learning, but still not having to make that up and extending our school year longer than it needs to be. Because we know that once we get to June, students are beginning to feel less interested in being in school and more interested in summer activities and moving beyond. So the flexible instruction day is something that we do value, that we constantly have conversations about. And again, yesterday was a reminder for us to make sure that we have all of our technology in place, all of our instructional materials are in place and ready to go, and that our parents and our families all have the correct information to be able to get where they need to get when they need to get there. So stay tuned as we go into this winter. So far, it's been a little bit more of a challenging winter than in prior years. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep communicating information as best we can. That's all we have. I want to wish you the very best in the end of a first semester towards the beginning of the second semester. Have a great day, stay warm, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.